I, 26F, have no idea where to even start with this because I'm still in shock and honestly a little embarrassed. My husband, 28M, and I have been married for 3 years. We've always done Thanksgiving at my parents' house. It's kind of a tradition. Big family, loud dinners, way too much food, a lot of laughter. He's always seemed to enjoy it, or at least that's what I thought. About a month before Thanksgiving, he suddenly brings it up out of nowhere. We're sitting on the couch, I'm scrolling through recipes, and he says, "Hey, maybe this year we should do something different for Thanksgiving." I thought he meant like new dishes or inviting friends. But then he goes, "Actually, I think I'll skip your family's dinner this year. I just need some quiet time. You know how exhausting they can be." I kind of laughed it off at first. My family is a lot, I'll admit it. My mom loves to fuss, my dad tells the same stories every year, and my little cousins scream through the house like it's a theme park. But that's Thanksgiving. That's us. So I asked, "Okay, then what do you want to do instead? Just a small dinner here?" He shrugged and said, "I don't know. Maybe I'll just stay home, order takeout, watch football. I just need to recharge, babe." Something about it felt off. He'd never missed a family holiday, not once. Even when he was sick one year, he still came and slept on the couch with a blanket. So him wanting to skip it? It didn't feel like tiredness. It felt like distance. I asked if something was wrong, and he said, "No, you're overthinking. I just need some space. Don't make it a big deal." So, I didn't. I didn't want to be that clingy wife. But deep down, I felt this weird pit in my stomach. Like I knew I was missing something. Thanksgiving morning rolled around, and I remember feeling uneasy. It was one of those days where everything looked normal, but nothing felt right. I got up early to help my mom prep, the usual chaos of stuffing, pie crusts, and my dad blasting 80s music in the kitchen. My husband was still in bed when I left. He kissed me goodbye, barely, and said, "Text me when you get there, okay? I'll probably nap and watch some games later." "Okay," I said. "Love you." "Yeah, love you too," he mumbled. That, yeah, stuck in my head the entire drive to my parents' house. A few hours into dinner prep, my mom noticed I kept checking my phone and asked if everything was okay. I said yes, but honestly, I just wanted him to text. Just a simple, "Happy Thanksgiving," or "Hope you're having fun." Nothing came. By the time dinner started, I'd convinced myself he was just asleep or lost in football. I even felt guilty for being suspicious. So after dessert, I decided to FaceTime him, just to check in, maybe show him everyone's saying hi. He didn't answer. No big deal, I thought. Maybe he's showering or cooking something. But then I tried again an hour later, still nothing. Straight to voicemail. That pit in my stomach? It turned into full-on nausea. I told my mom I wasn't feeling great and decided to head home early. The drive felt endless. Every mile closer, I could feel my pulse climbing. When I pulled into our driveway, the first thing I noticed was that his car was gone. At first, I tried to calm myself. Maybe he ran out to grab food. Maybe he was visiting a friend. But his best friend, the one he usually watched games with, had already texted me Happy Thanksgiving earlier from out of state. So that didn't make sense. I walked into the house. It was dark, cold, empty. Nothing on the counters, no TV sound, no sign of life. And then I saw it. On the kitchen table. A receipt. From a restaurant 2 towns over. Dated today. 2 entrees, a bottle of wine, and a dessert for 2. My heart dropped. I didn't even have to think. I grabbed my phone and opened Find My iPhone. He'd once shared his location with me after losing his phone on a fishing trip. I had forgotten to turn it off. When the little blue popped up, it wasn't anywhere near home. It was at a romantic lakeside in about 45 minutes away. And just like that, everything made sense. The tired of my family, the distance, the lack of messages. He wasn't tired of Thanksgiving. He was tired of me. I don't even remember making the decision. One second I was staring at that little blue dot on the map, and the next I was grabbing my car keys with shaking hands. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my teeth. It was dark by then, cold enough for my breath to fog up the windshield, but I didn't feel it. I was running on pure adrenaline and rage. Every mile I drove, my mind kept replaying the past few weeks like a bad movie. His sudden work dinners that didn't add up. The way he started taking extra long showers before going out with the guys. That new shirt he bought but never wore around me. I wanted to be wrong so badly. I prayed that when I got there, I'd find him eating alone or meeting some old friend I didn't know about. That it was anything but what I feared. The GPS led me off the main road and down a quiet lane lined with tall pine trees. When the sign for Lakeshore appeared in my headlights, my stomach twisted. I parked far enough away that he wouldn't notice my car. Yes, I was fully in detective mode by then. The parking lot wasn't busy, but it wasn't empty either. And then I saw it, his car, parked crookedly, like he'd been in a hurry. That was my confirmation. My breaking point. I sat there for a solid minute, gripping the steering wheel, trying to steady my breathing. My hands were trembling so bad, I had to shove them under my thighs. I didn't even know what I'd do if I saw him. Scream? Cry? Laugh? All three? Finally, I got out and walked toward the lobby. The cold air hit me, and I realized I wasn't even wearing a coat. Just pure impulse and heartbreak keeping me warm. Inside, the place smelled like cinnamon candles and fake cheer. Everything about it screamed romantic getaway. Couples in sweaters were drinking wine by the fireplace, soft music playing in the background. And there he was, in the far corner, near the window, overlooking the lake. Laughing. Not just laughing, beaming. His arm draped casually around a woman's chair, the kind of posture you only have when you're comfortable or when you're lying to someone else about who you really are. I froze. She turned her head and I recognized her instantly. It wasn't some random stranger. It was his coworker, the one he swore up and down was like a sister to him. The same woman I'd met at one of his office parties last year. The one he told me always brings her boyfriend to events, so chill. There was no boyfriend tonight. I don't think I've ever felt my body move before my brain like that. One moment I was standing frozen by the door, heart slamming in my chest, and the next, I was walking toward their table. Every step felt heavy and electric at the same time. My pulse was in my ears, drowning out the Christmas piano music that suddenly sounded mocking. He didn't even see me at first. He was too busy laughing, that fake, performative laugh he does when he's trying to impress someone. The woman, let's call her Melissa, was touching his arm, leaning in, whispering something. It was so intimate it made my stomach turn. Then I said his name.
Loud.
Not yelling, not whispering, just enough.
Ethan.
His head jerked up so fast he almost spilled his drink. The color drained from his face instantly, and his mouth just hung open like a fish gasping for air. For a full 2 seconds, nobody said anything. Then Melissa looked between us, eyes wide, clearly realizing the situation. Oh, she stammered, starting to stand. But I wasn't there for her. I kept my eyes on him. So, I said, crossing my arms, this is why you couldn't handle Thanksgiving with my family? You were just too tired, right? He blinked like he was trying to reboot his brain. Then came the stammering. The classic Ethan routine. It's not what it looks like, okay? She had a rough time at work and I just thought, oh, spare me. I cut him off. You thought you'd take her on a cozy weekend trip to the same in where we spent our anniversary 2 years ago? That got him. He froze. His mouth opened again, but this time, nothing came out. Melissa grabbed her purse, muttered something like, I should go, and practically fled.
Good.
Let her. Now it was just me and him. People in the restaurant were starting to stare, and he had that panicky look, the one that says he's more embarrassed than guilty. Can we talk outside? He muttered, trying to grab his jacket. Sure, I said sweetly. Let's talk. We stepped out into the cold night air, and the fake civility dropped the second the door closed behind us. Why, Ethan? I demanded. Why lie? Why make up all that crap about needing space from my family? He rubbed his temples dramatically. Because, Jess, you never listen. Every year it's the same. Your mom's weird cranberry thing, your uncle's dumb jokes. I cut him off again. So, instead of telling me like an adult, you thought you'd just sneak away with your coworker? And pay for it with our joint account. That shut him up. His face went red. I didn't think it'd show up that fast, he muttered. I actually laughed. That's your excuse? You didn't think your lies would update in real time. He tried reaching for me, voice softening like it always does when he's cornered. Jess, it was just a break, okay? I needed time to clear my head. Right? I said. And you could only do that while sharing a bottle of wine with Melissa at a lakeside inn? For a moment, neither of us spoke. The only sound was the crunch of snow under our shoes and the faint hum of a Christmas song drifting through the window. Then I said it. Calmly. Coldly. Don't come home tonight. His eyes widened. Jess, come on, you're overreacting. No, I said, voice steady. For once, I'm reacting exactly how I should. I turned and walked away before he could say another word. And for the first time that night, I didn't feel weak. The next morning, my phone looked like a war zone. 15 missed calls, 7 voicemails, and a wall of texts from Ethan. At first, they were desperate. Jess, please, it's not what you think. I didn't mean for you to find out like that. You're blowing this way out of proportion. Then they turned angry. You embarrass me in front of everyone. You always have to make a scene. If you just trusted me, none of this would have happened. And finally, they turned pathetic. I can't sleep without you. You're my whole world. Please just talk to me. The funny thing is, I didn't even cry that morning. I just sat there in bed, scrolling through his messages, watching his tone shift from guilt to manipulation to guilt again, like clockwork. It was almost fascinating in a sick way. Then came the kicker, a message from Melissa. Jess, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was married. I just stared at it for a minute, half in disbelief. Did she really not know? Did she actually buy his crap about me being some controlling ex or roommate or whatever story he spun this time? I replied just once. You didn't know because he's a professional liar. But thanks for confirming everything. She never responded. That same day, I checked our shared bank account again. And sure enough, not only had he paid for that Thanksgiving getaway, but there were other charges too. Dinners, hotels, a plane ticket to Miami back in October when he told me he was on a work conference. Miami, during hurricane season. The same weekend I'd stayed up worrying because he lost power and couldn't call. The audacity of this man. When I confronted him later that day via text because I refused to see him, he went full clown mode. I don't know what you're talking about. That Miami trip was for business. You know how bad my company's communication is. Melissa paid for the dinners, not me. He was unraveling fast. I think part of me enjoyed watching him try to juggle all his lies, like a circus act that was finally running out of hands. But then he said something that made my blood boil. If you keep acting like this, Jess, you're going to push me away for good. Push him away? Oh, sweetheart, you'd already sprinted miles away. That night, I blocked his number. And when I did, I felt something shift inside me. Something small, but powerful. The beginning of peace. For the first time, I realized that I didn't have to keep fighting for a man who had stopped fighting for me a long time ago. It was raining that night. One of those soft, endless drizzles that makes the world feel gray and heavy. I was curled up on the couch in sweatpants, eating cereal straight from the box, when the doorbell rang. I didn't even have to look. I knew it was him, Ethan. Because who else would have the audacity to show up unannounced after everything? When I opened the door, there he was, soaked through, holding a sad bouquet of gas station flowers, eyes wide like a kicked puppy. He looked like a man rehearsing his heartbreak in the mirror. Jess, he started, his voice cracking just a little. Please, can we talk? I just stared at him for a moment. The part of me that used to panic at the thought of losing him felt gone. There was nothing left but exhaustion. What could you possibly say that I haven't already heard? I asked. He sighed, clutching the flowers tighter. You've got it all wrong, okay? Melissa and it wasn't serious. I was lonely, I was stupid, I just needed someone to talk to. You've been so distant lately, and I cut him off. Ethan, I'm 6 months pregnant. He blinked. Once. Twice. And then, I swear to God, he nodded like that was somehow part of his defense. Exactly, he said. You've been so focused on the baby that you forgot about us. I felt invisible, Jess. I made a mistake, but can't you understand why? It was the way he said it. The way he somehow twisted his affair into my fault. The way he stood there, dripping rainwater on my porch, acting like the victim in a story he wrote himself. I laughed. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't kind. It just came out sharp and cold and real. You took our savings, lied for months, cheated, and then decided to spend Thanksgiving pretending I didn't exist, and you think I made you feel invisible? He flinched, but still tried to grab my hand. Jess, please, we can fix this. I'll do anything. Therapy, new house, new start, whatever you want. That's when I noticed it. His car parked crooked in my driveway. The passenger seat wasn't empty. There was a pink umbrella, a coffee cup, and a familiar jacket. Melissa's jacket. I looked him dead in the eye. She's in the car, isn't she? He froze. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. That stupid, guilty half-smile flickered across his face, the one I used to confuse with charm. I just gave her a ride. She wanted to. Go, I said. My voice didn't even shake. Take your umbrella, girl, and get off my porch. He tried to speak again, but I shut the door in his face before he could. I stood there for a minute, forehead against the door, listening to the muffled sound of him knocking, then walking away. When I finally peeked through the curtain, I saw him running back to the car, gesturing wildly, probably explaining to Melissa how I'd overreacted. For the first time in weeks, I smiled, because I realized his chaos was no longer mine to clean up. If I thought shutting the door in his face would be the end of it, oh, I was so wrong. Because the next day, Ethan decided to go public. He must have realized I wasn't going to cave, so he did what every self-pitying man-child does when cornered. He tried to control the story. He posted a long, dramatic Facebook status. You know the type.
Something like,
"Sometimes people grow apart. Please respect our privacy during this difficult time. I still love Jess and wish her the best."
yeah,
That kind of manipulative garbage. He even threw in a line about how the stress of the pregnancy had been hard on both of us. As if I was the problem. As if my swollen feet and late-night cravings were somehow to blame for him running off with his side chick over Thanksgiving turkey. The comments started rolling in, the usual mix of sympathy and confusion. His mom commented, "Love you both. Praying for peace." My cousin wrote, "Wait, what? What happened?" And then came Melissa, leaving a single heart emoji. A heart emoji. I saw red. Within an hour, I had posted screenshots, bank transactions, his "I miss you" texts, and that lovely selfie of them on the beach during what was supposed to be his guy's weekend. It wasn't my proudest moment, but I wasn't going to let him paint himself as the misunderstood husband while I looked like the hormonal monster. People started messaging me. Some were shocked. Some said they'd had a feeling. One of his coworkers even reached out and told me they'd seen him getting lunch with Melissa months ago, but didn't know how to tell me. And just like that, his perfect little image started to crack. That night, he called again. "Jess, what the hell did you do? You embarrassed me in front of everyone." I actually laughed.
good.
"Maybe now you'll feel a fraction of the humiliation you put me through." He sputtered, swore, then said the line that almost made me throw my phone through the wall. "You're being petty. We could have handled this privately." Privately. The same man who aired our breakup on Facebook was now talking about privacy. I hung up on him, blocked his number, blocked her too. But of course, that didn't stop the ripple effect. By morning, his mom was at my door, crying, apologizing, begging me to reconsider. She said Ethan had lost his way and still loved me deeply. I told her very calmly, if he loved me, he wouldn't have spent Thanksgiving in another woman's bed. Her face fell, and I could see the realization sink in. Her golden boy wasn't who she thought he was. That night, I slept through the entire night for the first time in months. No anxiety, no waiting for his texts, no wondering where he was. Just peace. Because when the truth finally comes out, it doesn't matter how messy it gets. At least it's real. It had been about 2 weeks since the Facebook meltdown, and honestly, I was just starting to breathe again. The house felt lighter, my body didn't ache the same way, and for once, I could make it through an entire day without checking my phone every 5 minutes. Then one morning, there was a knock at the door. I peeked through the peephole, and there he was, Ethan, holding a grocery bag full of baby stuff. I didn't open the door at first. I just stood there, staring at him through the glass, my stomach tightening. He must have seen the curtain move, because he said softly, "Jess, please.
Just let me talk to you."
I brought diapers and formula. I want to help." That word, help, almost made me laugh. The man who drained our savings to fund his secret getaway now wanted to help. I opened the door, just a crack. He looked different.
Tired.
Maybe even regretful, but I couldn't tell if it was real or just another performance. "I've been thinking," he said, shifting from foot to foot. "I want to be here.
For you. For the baby."
I know I screwed up, but this is my family, Jess. I don't want to lose that." His voice broke just enough to sound sincere. And for a second, just one stupid second, my heart wavered. Not because I believed him, but because I remembered who he used to be. The man who would rub my back when I was nauseous. The one who kissed my belly and said, "You're gonna be the best mom." But then reality hit me like a wave. That same man had spent Thanksgiving in another woman's bed. So I asked, very quietly, "And what about her? Does she know you're here playing house again?" He froze. His face twitched, that familiar flicker of panic I'd seen too many times.
"What?"
"Jess, come on, it's not like that. Melissa's gone. She realized she didn't want." "Don't." I cut him off. Don't you dare stand on my porch and lie to me again. He tried to talk over me, but I didn't let him. I'm not your backup plan, Ethan. I'm not the safe place you crawl back to when your affair burns out. You made your choice. You don't get to rewrite it just because it's inconvenient now. He went silent. Then his face hardened.
Wow.
You're really gonna do this? Keep my child away from me. That's when I snapped. This isn't about keeping anything from you. It's about protecting myself and our baby from your chaos. He stood there for a while, shifting between anger and guilt, but I didn't budge. Finally, he set the bag down on the porch, muttered something about how I'd regret this, and walked away. I waited until he drove off before I opened the bag. Inside were baby bottles, a small teddy bear, and a receipt. All of it was from Melissa's favorite boutique. Of course, he hadn't even bought it himself. I laughed, a sharp, exhausted laugh, and closed the door. That was the moment I knew there was no going back. Not even for the baby. Not even for the dream I used to cling to. Ethan wasn't coming back into my life. And I wasn't waiting for him anymore. The first few weeks after that porch incident were quiet. Uncomfortably quiet at first. There was no sound of his keys jingling at the door, no half-hearted, "Hey babe," echoing from the hallway. Just me, my growing belly, and the hum of the refrigerator filling the silence. It was strange how much space peace could take up once the chaos was gone. At first, I didn't know what to do with it. I kept expecting my phone to buzz, to see his name pop up again with some grand new apology or excuse. But it didn't. He'd gone completely silent. And for the first time, I realized I didn't miss him. I just missed who I thought he was. I started focusing on small things. Things I'd ignored for too long. Morning walks, painting the nursery, cooking what I wanted to eat instead of what he liked. I even rearranged the furniture just to feel like the space was truly mine again. It felt symbolic somehow, like every shift, every moved chair or tossed out photo was me rewriting my own story. Of course, not everyone approved. His mom texted me one afternoon. "Jess, he's trying so hard. You should at least talk to him. For the baby." I stared at that message for a while before replying. He talked to someone else. For himself. I didn't owe anyone an explanation. Not anymore. And as the days went by, something inside me started to settle. The anger softened into understanding. Not forgiveness, but acceptance. The sadness turned into strength. I stopped trying to figure out why he did what he did. Because sometimes, people just don't love you the way you deserve, and that's not your failure to fix. One afternoon, I found myself in the nursery, folding tiny clothes and humming to the baby. And it hit me, this wasn't the ending of a love story. It was the beginning of a new one. One between me and this little life I was about to bring into the world. I didn't need him to complete that picture. He'd already shown me who he was, and I'd finally remembered who I was without him. That night, I stood by the window, looking out at the fading sunset, and whispered, half to myself, half to the baby, "We're going to be okay." And for the first time since everything fell apart, I actually believed it. It's funny how the truth always catches up, even when you've stopped chasing it. About a month after Ethan showed up on my porch with that sad bag of baby gifts, I got a message from one of his coworkers. At first, I ignored it. I didn't want to reopen that wound. But curiosity got the better of me. The message read, "Hey Jess, I thought you should know. Ethan got suspended. Something about him lying to HR, expense reports, and a trip that didn't exist. I'm really sorry." I blinked at the screen, reread it 3 times, and then just laughed. An exhausted, full-bodied laugh that startled even me. Apparently, that work conference he claimed to have attended, the one where he couldn't answer his phone, was actually the weekend he spent with Melissa at a coastal resort. And genius that he was, he charged everything to the company card. Meals, hotel, spa treatments. Even the champagne. When HR asked for his receipts, he tried to fake them. Badly. So yeah, he was suspended. And when word got around the office, it wasn't just his job that crumbled. It was his reputation. People started to see the cracks I'd lived with for years. The half-truths, the charm that evaporated when he didn't get his way, the "I didn't mean to" excuses that always followed disaster. But the best part? Melissa dumped him. Apparently, she hadn't signed up for unemployed cheater with a baby on the way. He tried to play the victim again, posting vague quotes about being betrayed by the people you love most. And honestly, I think that was the first time I truly pitied him. Because I realized he was still stuck. Still spinning in circles, making excuses, chasing distractions instead of facing himself. Meanwhile, I was moving forward. I'd started therapy. My mom was helping me with nursery prep. My friends, the ones I thought I'd lost in the chaos, started coming around again, showing up with dinner and baby gifts, reminding me that love could still be safe and soft and real. Then one night, out of nowhere, Ethan called from a new number. I shouldn't have answered, but I did. He sounded broken. "Jess," he said, voice low, "I lost my job. Melissa's gone. I don't even know where to go from here." I didn't say anything for a moment. Just listened to him breathing, that same rhythm I used to fall asleep to, now just noise. Finally, I said, "Ethan, I hope you figured out, but that's not my job anymore." He tried to talk again, but I hung up. For good this time. And as I sat there, hands resting on my belly, I realized something profound. He'd lost everything, but I hadn't. I'd lost him. And that wasn't a loss. That was freedom. When the contraction started, it was 3 a.m. The house was quiet, but for the first time in months, I wasn't afraid of the silence. It wasn't heavy anymore. It was peaceful, alive. Like the calm before something beautiful, not the calm before disaster. I grabbed my hospital bag, which I'd packed weeks earlier because anxiety never takes a day off, and called my mom. Within 20 minutes, she was at my door, her hair still in rollers, slippers on, eyes wide and teary. She didn't say much, just took my hand and whispered, "You've got this, sweetheart." And for once, I believed her. At the hospital, everything felt surreal. The bright lights, the soft beeps, the rush of nurses moving around me. I kept thinking about how Ethan wasn't there. There was a time that thought would have shattered me. But instead, all I felt was relief. I didn't have to worry about fake encouragements, or forced hand-holding, or him checking his phone mid-contraction because work's texting. It was just me, my mom, and the baby. Our moment. After 9 exhausting hours, I heard the cry. That tiny, perfect cry. The nurse placed her in my arms, and I swear the world stopped. Her eyes, barely open, soft and curious, looked up at me like she already knew who I was. And for the first time in what felt like forever, I cried. Not from pain, not from heartbreak, but from pure, unfiltered love. The kind that doesn't lie. The kind that doesn't walk out when things get hard. My mom snapped a picture of us, and when I looked at it later, I realized something. I didn't look broken anymore. I looked like me. The me before the lies, before the gaslighting, before all the "I'm just tired of your family" excuses. It hit me then, this little girl was my fresh start. My clean slate. My proof that even after everything, something beautiful could grow from the ruins. Later that evening, the nurse came in with a small envelope. Apparently, someone had dropped it off at the front desk. Inside was a handwritten note. From Ethan. It said, "I heard you had her. I hope she looks like you. I'm sorry for everything. I'll always care about both of you." I stared at it for a long time. Then I folded it, tucked it into the drawer beside my bed, and whispered, "Goodbye, Ethan." Because some words deserve to be heard once, and then buried with the past. That night, as my daughter slept beside me, her tiny hand curled around my finger, I realized something I wish I could tell every woman who's been through betrayal. You don't always get closure from them. Sometimes, you create it yourself. It's strange how, after the chaos ends, the quiet can feel scarier than the storm ever did. When I brought my daughter home, I expected peace, that cinematic moment where the world feels soft and forgiving. But instead, I found myself staring at the walls, wondering what came next.
Bills.
Feedings. Late nights.
And silence.
Not the lonely kind, though, more like the silence of rebuilding. The silence that hums before something new begins. The first few weeks were hard. There were moments I caught myself wanting to text him, to tell him about her first smile, to share the way she cooed when I hummed the same lullaby he used to hum, ironically, one he'd learned from the woman he cheated with. But every time my thumb hovered over his name, I stopped. Because what was I even hoping for? His approval? His fake, "I'm proud of you"?
No.
I'd wasted enough love on a man who didn't know what to do with it. So instead, I texted my mom. Or my friend Tara. Or I just wrote it in my notes app, like a digital diary of tiny triumphs. She smiled today, didn't cry once during feeding, didn't think about him for a whole hour. Small victories, but victories nonetheless. Then one day, I got a message from an unknown number. It was him. "I saw your post, you look beautiful with her. I miss you." I didn't reply. He followed up. "Can we meet? I just want to talk." The old me would have said yes. The one who always wanted to understand, to fix, to forgive. But the new me? She just stared at the screen, felt nothing but a hollow kind of calm, and pressed block. That was the moment I realized healing isn't loud. It's not about grand gestures or revenge or even closure. It's quiet. It's you, choosing yourself again and again, even when it hurts, even when you're tired. I started seeing a therapist. She told me something that stuck. Trust doesn't start with others. It starts when you learn to trust yourself again. At first, I didn't understand. But then one night, my daughter woke up crying, and instead of panicking like I used to, I just held her, humming softly until she fell asleep. And it hit me, I did trust myself. I trusted that I could do this, that I could raise her, that I could rebuild a life that wasn't defined by what he broke. I started painting again, something I hadn't done in years. I sold my first piece online, just a small canvas of a woman holding a child under a glowing moon. Someone messaged me saying it made them cry because it looked like strength. And for the first time in a long time, I believed that's what I was. Strong. Not because I survived him, but because I found myself after him. It happened on a rainy Thursday. The kind of day where everything feels gray and slow, and all you want is a blanket, tea, and peace. I had just put my daughter down for her nap when there was a knock at the door. A slow, hesitant knock. I peeked through the peephole and my heart dropped. It was him. He looked different. Or maybe I did. His once carefully styled hair was messy, his shirt wrinkled, and his face, that smug face I used to know so well, looked unsure for the first time. I didn't open the door right away. I just stood there, frozen, every muscle tight. Then he said softly, "I know you're there. Can we just talk?" And, against my better judgment, or maybe because I wanted closure on my terms, I opened it. He smiled weakly, holding a bouquet of flowers that looked like they came from a gas station.
Typical.
"You look good," he said, his voice trembling just a little. "She's beautiful. I've seen the pictures your mom posts. You're doing great." I didn't say anything. Just crossed my arms and waited for him to get to the point. "Listen, I messed up. I know that now. I was stupid, selfish. I thought I wanted freedom, but all I did was lose everything that mattered." I almost laughed. The dramatic confession, the pity in his tone, it was all too familiar, like a script he'd rehearsed. "You didn't lose everything," I said. "You threw it away." He blinked, clearly not expecting me to stay calm. "I want to make it right," he said quickly.
For us.
"For her. I can change."
Change.
That word again. The one he'd used every time he forgot our anniversary, or lied about money, or texted some woman by accident. I just shook my head. "You don't get to change because you're lonely. You don't get to come back when the person you destroyed rebuilt herself." He looked at me like I'd slapped him. Maybe because he realized, really realized, that the woman standing in front of him wasn't his anymore. "So that's it? After everything we've been through?" he said, his tone turning sharp. "You're just done?" "No," I said quietly. "You're done. I'm just beginning." The silence that followed was heavy. The kind of silence that ends a story. He tried one last thing. The soft eyes, the pleading tone, the "I'll do anything." But I didn't flinch. I closed the door gently. Not slammed, not yelled, closed. And that felt more powerful than any revenge ever could. When I turned around, my daughter was standing in her crib, rubbing her eyes, smiling up at me like I'd just done something brave. And maybe I had. That night, I slept better than I had in months. The weeks after he showed up were strange, like the calm after a tornado. The kind of quiet that doesn't scare you anymore. I expected to feel empty, or sad, or conflicted. But instead, I just felt light. I started doing things I hadn't done in years. Cooking meals I liked instead of what he wanted. Playing music in the house again. Taking my daughter to the park every morning just because the air felt good and the world finally seemed open again. It was weird realizing how much space he used to take up in my mind, my day, my heart. Once he was gone, I started seeing all the little ways I'd bet myself to fit his moods. The way I'd planned my life around avoiding his bad days. The way I'd walked on eggshells just to keep the peace. Now, if something breaks, I fix it. If I want to rest, I rest. No guilt. No apology. My friends started coming around again, too. The ones he'd subtly pushed away by being uncomfortable around them. They told me they barely recognized the version of me that existed when I was with him. Quiet, anxious, tired. I think the biggest change came one evening when I sat on the porch after putting my daughter to bed. I was sipping tea, wrapped in a blanket, listening to the rain, and it hit me. Peace feels nothing like I thought it would. It's not fireworks or a big moment of revenge. It's small, gentle. It's silence that doesn't ache. Sometimes I still get messages from him, pathetic little check-ins like, "Hope you're okay. Thinking of you. Tell her I love her." I don't respond. Not out of hate, but because I finally understand something. He's part of my story, but not my ending. The woman who once begged for his attention now doesn't even flinch when his name pops up. And that's not sadness. That's freedom. I don't need closure from him anymore. I already gave it to myself. If you had told me a year ago that I'd be writing this, sitting in my quiet house, genuinely happy without him, I would have laughed in your face. Back then, my whole world revolved around making it work.
Keeping him happy.
Fixing what he broke. Now, I see it so clearly. I wasn't trying to fix the marriage. I was trying to fix the version of him I'd made up in my head. The one who loved me, respected me, cared about our family. But that man didn't exist, not anymore, maybe not ever. What I lost wasn't him. What I lost was my illusion of safety. And what I found was myself. There's a strange kind of peace that comes after your worst heartbreak, a peace born from finally stopping the fight. You realize that you don't need answers, apologies, or revenge. You just need distance.
Time.
Stillness. I won't pretend it was easy. There were nights I cried until sunrise. Days when I replayed every red flag, every gut feeling I ignored. I went through anger, guilt, numbness, and then one day, it just stopped hurting. I learned that love isn't supposed to make you shrink. It's not supposed to make you doubt yourself. It's not supposed to leave you begging for crumbs. He taught me that lies can sound like love when you want to believe them badly enough. But leaving taught me that truth, no matter how painful, is freedom. So, to anyone reading this who's stuck in that in-between place, where you know something's wrong but can't bear to face it, please listen to that voice inside you. The one that whispers, "This isn't right." You're not crazy. You're not overreacting. You're just waking up. And waking up hurts like hell until it doesn't. Because one day, you'll look around your home, and the quiet won't feel lonely anymore. It'll feel peaceful. Yours. And that's the real victory.